Hello children, welcome to my video session. So today we shall be discussing a topic, control and coordination, and under this topic, a subtopic I have selected, that is human brain. On previous discussion in the last very class, I have talked to you about the reflex action, reflex arc, the path, and how the reflex action is taking. But the major area in CNS, central nervous system, that is the major area of all different types of control, is the brain, which is the most important part of central nervous system. Now here I have drawn a structure of human brain. See, the major part of human brain is covered by a area what we call as forebrain. If you can remember my previous discussion, I have told you the brain is divided into three main parts: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. In other term, I told it is prosencephalon, mesencephalon and rhombencephalon. Now, prosencephalon, otherwise called forebrain, which comprises of covering almost 3/4 of human brain. This is the first most important part, covering 3/4 part of human brain. This forebrain, prosencephalon, we have divided into telencephalon and diencephalon, two parts, but you need not remember that part because for higher studies we used to divide all these further category. So for the time being you try to remember forebrain, otherwise called prosencephalon, having the major part, the most important part, that is cerebrum. Apart from cerebrum, it is having hypothalamus, and thalamus. So these are the major part of forebrain. Out of that, it is the cerebrum which comprises which cover the most area of the human brain, especially the forebrain part. Now, the brain is covered within a bony cage, what you call as human skull. Within the skull, the brain is again covered by a three-layer membrane called cranial meninges. What is it called? Cranial meninges. This meninges, otherwise called cranial meninges, are having three layers. The outer layer is called dura mater. Middle layer is called arachnoid, and innermost layer, which is just covering the cerebrum, is called as pia mater. There is space between dura mater and arachnoid called subdural space, and there is space between arachnoid and pia mater called subarachnoidal space. And this is your additional information apart from your level, so that future when you are coming for higher studies in the 11th standard, it will be helping you a lot. Now these two spaces are filled with a fluid. This fluid we called cerebrospinal fluid. Is it very clear? Now coming to the point of cerebrum. The cerebrum, by means of a fissure, divided into two equal half, almost equal half. This two half of cerebrum is called left and right cerebral hemisphere. Left and right cerebral hemisphere. Means two half of cerebrum are called cerebral hemisphere. Is it very clear? Now these two half of cerebral hemisphere, left half and right half, are connected with each other by means of corpus callosum. This is the corpus callosum which are connecting the left and right cerebral hemisphere. Now the cerebrum or cerebral hemisphere is having the covering. It is covered by a layer of neural tissue which are forming various fold-like arrangement. This is by appearance looks grey and hence it is called grey matter. What is it called? Grey matter. Here the cell body of neuron are very closely packed. It is this how much neuron are accumulated. The main purpose of such a fold is so that maximum neuron can be accommodated. And the intellectual ability of a person depend on how densely the neurons are packed. Neurons are how closely packed within this part of grey matter. Why it is called grey matter? Because of the cell body of the neural tissues are appearing grey. Now, what is the function of this? This is the area of major coordination for sensory and motor neuron. The sensory and motor area are very much clearly visible. Two separate area, that is sensory area and motor area, present within this cerebral cortex. Apart from motor and sensory area, there are certain other regions within the cerebral cortex. That region is neither truly motor nor truly sensory. It is called an area of association. That is the area of association, neither truly sensory or motor in nature. Now, inside the cerebral hemisphere, the area what you call as appearing white in appearance, it is because the axon part of neuron covering with the meninges covering appear white in nature. That is what we call as white matter. This area is an area of major association between the sensory neurons, sensory impulses. This cerebrum is further divided into area basis 4 lobes. Frontal, this part is the frontal lobe. This part from here to here is the frontal lobe. From here to here it is the parietal lobe, then temporal lobe and occipital lobe. So cerebrum again are having 4 lobes: frontal, parietal, temporal and occipital lobe. Is that clear? Now coming to the point of just inside the cerebrum, there is an area, this area what we call as thalamus. Thalamus. What is the function of thalamus? Thalamus is responsible for making a coordination between the sensory neuron and motor neuron. It is responsible for making a coordination between sensory and motor neuron. Just below thalamus This is the area what we call as hypothalamus. This is the hypothalamus. This is the thalamus. So hypothalamus is having very important function. What is that function? It is hypothalamus which is responsible for hunger, thirst. It is responsible for, it is having various centers, endocrine centers for releasing various endocrine secretion, hormonal secretion, otherwise called hypothalamic releasing factor. It is this hypothalamic releasing factor which stimulates on another endocrine gland. This is the area of that gland called pituitary gland. Under the influence of such endocrine hypothalamic factors, the pituitary gland is influenced and releasing various hormones. The pituitary gland releasing various hormones. So this is about the forebrain, which is the major center and covering almost 3/4 part of human brain. Then coming to the point of a very small area suppressed by forebrain from upper side and hindbrain from lower side. That area we called as this midbrain. Midbrain is having 4 bulging out dorsal part called corpora quadrigemina. This is the corpora quadrigemina, 4 bulging out part. Apart from that, it is having cerebral aqueduct. This 2 area together forms the midbrain, which is almost a sandwich part. Sandwich part means from upper side it is suppressed by the cerebrum and from lower side by the cerebellum. The function of this area, midbrain, comprises of corpora, quadrigemina and cerebral aqueduct. The main function is it is responsible for eye movement and that is the vision. It controls the vision and the auditory functions. That means vision and hearing. Now coming to the point of the hindbrain. Hindbrain comprises of 3 parts. One is pons, then the most bulging out part of hindbrain, cerebellum, and last part which is called medulla, otherwise called medulla oblongata. So pons, medulla or medulla oblongata and cerebellum, these 3 together forms the hindbrain. This part is also called as brain stem. Which part? The medulla oblongata part is also called brain stem. What is the function of cerebellum? As I am teaching you in standing posture, as I am walking or just in one leg I am standing, these all what you call as maintenance of body posture and balancing body. These are done by cerebellum. So the function of cerebellum is maintenance of body posture and balance. Then coming to the point of pons. Pons, it is the major area of association between the different parts of brain, which is a bulging out part of the hindbrain, and medulla. Medulla, otherwise called medulla oblongata, which is having various centers. These centers control various involuntary function. What are the involuntary function? Like heartbeat, like respiratory rhythms, as the lung is functioning, as the heart is functioning, cardiovascular system. Then the other involuntary control like gastric secretion, secretion of different glands, digestive glands. These are all controlled by the various centers present in the hindbrains, Which part? Medulla or medulla oblongata part. So this is how we have talked to you about the forebrain, the midbrain and the hindbrain. Midbrain is a sandwich part suppressed from top by forebrain and from bottom by hindbrain, where forebrain is covering almost 3/4 part and left out part is covered by mostly the hindbrains, cerebellum, which is a site for balance and maintenance of body posture. Medulla oblongata or medulla having the various centers for controlling involuntary activity. Pons are area of association, and it gives a connection to spinal cord. So that's all for today. Thank you and see you in the next day. Thank you.